Blog Talk Radio. Chatting with Nat is a podcast for independent women seeking to speak their truth and to break down barriers. We host honest conversations that help to guide and empower women. Speak your truth and set yourself free. Let your voice be heard. Hi everyone, it's Chatting with Nat and Natalie. It's Natalie Jean, and today we have the honor of having singer-songwriter Rebecca Trujillo. I hope I said that right. Osmunda Music is Rebecca Trujillo Vest, a music creator, community leader, and spiritual writer whose body of work embraces healing music. Her ethos is passionate, strong, vibrant, and always focused on giving to a wider community of artists. Rebecca's output is diverse and encompasses many genres such as pop, folk, rock, new age, and children's music. Always exploring, she seeks inspiration, camaraderie, and connections. Let's give her a round of applause. Hi, Rebecca. How are you?
Hi, Nat. I'm good. Do you like to go by Natalie or Nat?
Yeah, you can call me anything you want.
Thank you for having me. I like Natalie.
Some people call me the B word. Anyway, because some days, you're just not feeling, you're feeling kitschy, so to speak. So how have you been? I'm glad we finally got to connect.
Yeah, I've been great. I'm so happy to connect, and I think that the timing is always right when we do, right? It's like yeah. So this is a good time. I just came back from Santa Fe. I was visiting, celebrating my mom. She just passed in 2021, and so it was nice to be with my family and just get back to my roots for a few days. It was nice.
Right. It's always great to be around great people.
Bless you.
Thank you. It's always great to surround yourself with, people that bring you joy in your life.
Exactly.
I went away. I went to Nashville for a couple of days the other day, and I felt so good to be surrounded by friends during hard times. And then you recognize what true friendships are in your life. So I can appreciate what you're saying. But how have you been during this COVID? COVID had some babies, pandemic, assassinations, George Floyd, elections, Roe versus Wade.
Oh my goodness!
Cicadas, all kinds of things going on. Mass shooting. Sorry, I can't forget that because that's a joke.
I know.
How have you been through all of that?
It's tough, I breathe. In fact, I was walking through my son's schoolyard yesterday, and there's a big sign that says "breathe," and it actually reminded me to breathe. And it's, I think our breath kind of can take us into this place of, being able to just be in that moment without having to always be happy or always have it figured out, or to maybe breathing also allows you to feel and accept your feelings and your emotions. So that's I think that's what I did during lockdown. I breathed. I just took lots of breaths, and I walked and hiked in the mountains, and it was tough. It was tough, yeah. And I even wrote an album called Sending My Love, and I wasn't really planning on releasing the songs. I was just doing it for whoever could listen at the moment. And then we ended up wanting to share it with the world. So John Expolatus and myself, we went ahead and produced the album and sent it out. And so that was my last album called Sending My Love. And it was all based on the kind of mantra. And in fact, there's a song called Breathe. It's just breathe in, breathe out. That's the song. That's pretty much the song, but it's a really cool song. It's The least amount of words I've ever used in a song.
No, we definitely need to breathe. That's muy importante. So I agree with you. So we both know that the past 3 years have been cray. It's been crazy.
So super cray.
Super cray. And we know that horrible things have happened. But in light of all that stuff, there, some pros that have happened. I tell everybody, I've seen more family members walking together. Like family time is a big thing now. I've seen colleagues say, you know what? They had to cut back on work because they realized they were missing out on so much of their family's life. They're like, nope, gotta do this, gotta see them more. And there were so many articles about people quitting their jobs because what the pandemic did, it gave you downtime. It gave you downtime to do a lot of self-introspection, to really think about your life. And those people said, you know what? They don't want to do a job where they're unhappy, where they have anxiety. They want to do a job where they're happy and they love what they do. They know that they need a roof over their head, they need to eat, and they need clothing on their back. But a lot of people decided, I want to work from home, or I want to go in line with my passion. And for like you and I, like songwriters, artists, like they created albums, EPs, tracks, singles. Some decided not to do music anymore. They said, no, not doing this. And then some people just decided to rebrand. Now, during this time, did you think about how you wanted to be perceived as an artist, as a person? Did anything change? Or did you say, Rebecca Trujillo Osmunda, music is fine just as it is?
I would say a combination of all of it. I mean, I did actually think about rebranding, and then the more I thought about it, I was thinking, well, I actually love my brand. I just need to dive deeper. And so I embraced it, and I also started looking at licensing a little bit more as far as an avenue to get more of my music out there. And it's worked because I've found many collaborators around the world. I found different producers. I found another part of myself where I can express through my Osmunda music and beyond, because I've also did some side projects that weren't even part of Osmunda music, but was part of me. And so I was able to partake in that. And then along the way, decided to, with a couple of people, start a nonprofit to help musicians called Pandian Music Foundation. And that started, it was launched in September of 2022, and we got our 501c3 in January 2023, and we're hitting it strong right now. So that's another big part. I think that made me think of what I can give back, how I can help.
Right.
And a lot of musicians feel lost, or they feel they don't have the know-how, especially with licensing. People charge for, classes to get more information. So what a few of us did was we got together, and now we're offering workshops for free.
Oh, cool.
Yes. So that's another thing that happened during lockdown, was that creative, idea. And then the idea turned into something that's real, and it's been manifested.
Awesome. I like it. Now,
yay.
How did you get into the music biz? Now, did you come out of the womb and you were like, Rebecca's going to do music? Or was it something that you heard, you saw, that inspired you to do music?
When I was little, I have a recording of me singing on like one of those old tape recorders, A Time for Us. And I didn't even know the words. So I was pretty much just making the words up and then only singing the words I knew how. So it was like, it would sound something like, a time for, and then I would like little toddler talk, mumble, and go through it and then remember whatever's next. But I knew the melody. Oh, and so I give, I guess, a super shout out and thank you to my mother, Irene Trujillo. She was Irene Fernandez Trujillo. Fernandez was her maiden name. My dad also inspired and loved and helped us with our music. So I think my whole family is somewhat knows how to play an instrument and or sing or do something, and so we grew up playing music, and so that's how it started. And I think my first big performance was in front of like 500 people, and this was for a teen school teen concert, or I think it was a grade teen. I don't remember. Miss Teen, I don't know. I don't remember what it was, but it was my opportunity to play in front of a lot of people. And just me and the guitar, and I played For Baby for Bobby by John Denver.
Wow. Love that.
Yeah, that's my beginning of my music, and then left my guitar, moved to LA, and then I realized, why did I leave my guitar? And then eventually got it back, and yeah, and then this story continues. And here I am.
And here you are. Now, how important is it for you to be authentic as a person and in your music?
Well, I think when I was younger, I think lying might have been something that we did, like to get out of something, or, you saw maybe your siblings do it or other kids do it, and you thought, oh, I guess that's normal, like a normal thing to do. But then I started getting old, as I started having realization, I was like, lying doesn't serve anybody. It's like totally does not serve yourself. So instead of lying, I started finding new ways how to express the truth. And obviously music is the best way to do it. And so I think that's really where I'm trying to come from, is truth and purpose. Like, I don't know if a song, to me, if I'm writing a song that doesn't have a purpose, that somebody else can do that song. Like, and that's fine. There's sometimes songs just for fun, and I've done those live just for fun our jams at a studio or something, and that could be just fun for giggles or whatever. And even that has a purpose. But I think truth and honesty and connection and what you're feeling. I like, if I'm not feeling like writing a friendship song, I'm not going to write it at that moment. But I felt it like maybe a few months ago, and I did it.
Right.
Maybe right now I want to write a love song. And that's okay. And it's being authentic to yourself.
It's about doing what moves you.
Yeah.
Do you ever write songs about things going on in the world, like political songs?
Yes. I wrote a whole album called Love Will Overcome, and that was the album that happened before lockdown. And I was just, I just had an album release, and like not that long into before lockdown. And so it's called Love Overcome. There's a lot of songs on there that are political. When Is It Right? And there's a video that's attached to that talks about the homeless, and when is it right to stand up and fight? When is it right? Like, it's when do we wait till our beautiful environment, our Mother Earth, is completely polluted? That's one song, but there were quite a few songs on there. Be the Change, Love Will Overcome is a song too. It's use that with love is love. Everyone has a right to a voice, to exist. So I would say my first two albums are also my very first album. My main new song based on my title, Osmunda, where Osmunda comes from is Munda. I changed the earth from Mundo to Munda, and it's about Mother Earth. It's about how taking care of Mother Earth, and that Mother Earth is like a celestial being, and she feels things, and she'll feel the fire, she'll feel the tears, she feels when people, are aggro and angry and destroying the planet. She feels it. So I do bring up like little narrative moments in that, and also in some of my new music, I wrote a new song that hasn't been released called War or Love, and that's a pretty tough song. I'll share that with you, and when I release it, I'll definitely share it with the audience. But yeah, it's a tough song to for probably it's a beautiful song, but it's the words are pretty right on there, you know.
I love that.
And
I love it. I love people that are right on it. It's important.
Yeah. It's not, and not everyone wants to hear it, but you know, as a musician or as an artist, you want to. That's what you're writing about at that moment, and that's what's important, and it needs to come out.
Yeah, I believe that we are guided sometimes to write certain things because there's a message that people need to hear. You know, I'm a very spiritual person, and I think there's just things that some people just need to hear, and the people that don't want to hear it, they can turn it off.
Exactly.
You know, a lot of people, you know, say, oh, you know, aren't you afraid that you alienate your fans when you talk about politics? Some people just believe artists shouldn't even delve in that. I said, but what do you think the purpose of music is? The purpose of music is to get messages out. Some people need to hear something. Some people may not like what you have to say, but some people need to know that somebody stands with them at the same time.
Right.
And if your fans know you, they will appreciate your music anyway. And music is subjective. Well, it's time for all that. You know?
You're right. During some of the political situations happening, you know, whether it's like a new president that people are voting on, and I do post things, and I have lost some, you know, listeners or followers or friends through because everyone has their opinion, and maybe they don't want to they don't want to delve in. And so a friend just recently told me, you know, like, you know, we're talking, and I said, ooh, maybe we shouldn't talk politics. And this person said, well, maybe we should. Maybe you're exactly the reason why we should talk politics. Because you have this, you know, maybe because my approach isn't bringing in hate or unacceptance. Right. Maybe my message is like, hey, we're in this together. We really need to, like environmental justice and social justice. We need to stand together with both of these big issues, because the only way that true change is going to happen is if we stand together and listen to each other.
That's right. I know for myself, you know, I released an album also called Where Do We Go From Here a couple of years back, and it talks about everything. It talks about climate change, sexual assault, police brutality, you name it, I touched on it. And I love that. Thank you. And it's probably my best album out there. I have 6, I think. I can't remember. Out there. And then I realized that that's what I want to focus on, is social impact message songs, because I think that people need it. It's not about changing anybody's mind, but it's wanting somebody to just listen and hear something. And if something gets to you, that's beautiful. If it doesn't, then it doesn't. Like, I love the fact that you wrote a song that said "Love is Love," which is one of the biggest topics for me right now. And I'm very liberal. I say, you know what, everybody needs to do what they need to do to be happy and stuff like that. And I believe that people should love whoever they want to love, blah, blah, blah. But the only thing that I've had the biggest issue on is it seems as though our world is trying to get rid of women. And I have a huge problem with that. You know, there's new titles. You know, everything you got to Google just to understand what somebody's calling you. Like, I just learned that, you know, for naturally born women, they want to call those people cisgender, and I'm not here for it. I want people to be happy, but it doesn't mean that you have to eliminate me to find your own happiness.
Exactly. I wrote a song that just got released March 17th called "Woman Is Me."
I have that on here that I'm gonna play.
Oh, good. And like, so it kind of that was a rager. It's not a rager song, but that was a rager like moment for me to just spill it out. Like, look, I could be all these things, you know, and still, and that's my answer. It's okay, because, you know, like, this is like side narrative. I bleed, I sweat, I cry, stuff comes out of me, and I'm just pouring it out, and that's who I am.
That's right. That's right.
And that's who you are, and that's who we are. This is what we are. This is our womanhood,
I mean, it seems
this
like
is
every
us
time
being
you
women.
turn around, somebody wants to do something to a woman like that. No, we don't want you to have a voice. No, we want to be in control of your body. No, use this. No, that. No, that. No, you want fair pay. What? No. It's like, no, women are not going to stand for that anymore. So now some people, they don't want you to, on tampons or maxi pads, they don't want the logo on that. They don't want you to say breastfeeding. They want you to say chest feeding. No.
Oh, breastfeeding for sure.
I mean, it's hello.
Yeah. I mean, we're given these bodies, and we're given this heart, and we're given this voice and this mind, and this beautiful soul spirit, we carry around, we walk the planet. We should be able to share and express who we truly are.
Right. Exactly. There you go. You see, you got it. We should be able to express who we. And on that note, let me play the song, dude. That was the intro. I like it. Very catchy. So
very catchy. Yeah. Do you know this artist named Celeste? Her name is Celeste. Anyway, she inspired. So. There's two artists that inspired me for this song. I think the production, I was inspired by Celeste, and then the actual song, I think I've heard few very cool recent, women empowerment songs that are just really great. And I was inspired, and I actually really spent some time, even though the lyrics are pretty simple, I spent some time in making sure that the song popped with the musical bed. And so it was a fun song to make. I'm happy with the way it turned out.
Oh, that sounds great. Now, you do children's music, which is fascinating to me, because I think that's probably one of the hardest genres to write. Believe it or not, you really have to dig deep.
I had some help. Interesting enough, I had a co-writer, Abby Wells. She's also mindfulness, wellness, teacher, instructor. She started this whole thing called Peace Lab, and this is for students in schools in Los Angeles and all around. She's put together many just educational tools for them, and she's taught yoga and mindfulness and meditation, and she also has something called another group called Shanti Generation. And the reason why I'm bringing her up is she was the inspiration for the children's album. She's a friend, and she called me one day, and she's like, "You really need to make a children's album." I'm like, she's like, "Your music," because I have sang to children before and just made up songs for them, like Dolphins Make Us Smile. I think I wrote that song, but I never recorded it. In the end, what we did together could be used also for an adult listening, because it's falls to this really cool, vibey meditation, really great, beautiful live instruments. So I would say that it even though it's for children, adults can enjoy it, and adults can definitely enjoy this whole album. Hasn't been released yet. That's next with this one, and it's called what is the name? It's called let me just find one of the songs on there is "My Heart Has Wings." I just think that's the best title and some of the best lyrics, and I give all the lyrics credit to Abby Wells, and I did all the melody instrumentation, all the development of the song, and then brought in a lot of friends to play on the album, including her husband, bassist Aaron Wills, who plays with 311. They call him Peanut, and he's playing bass the whole time. But the whole album is called what is it called? It's called I can't think of the name now. I'm having a mind thing. I thought I'd be able to find it, but it'll come to me in a second. I'll share it with you.
Okay.
So anyway, this album was it's fun, it's beautiful, it's just really great, and it's going to take this child through a whole yoga class. So it starts with one song, and it takes it all the way down to Shavasana, which is that resting pose. And so that's it's and then with it, it's going to have it's going to be available for teachers or for parents to show how to play this for your child and listen to the music and also go through the yoga moves. So it's like a twofold kind of project as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So then that's cool about it.
Awesome. Now, what do you love most about being an artist?
I love that it's the creative side, creative, we're creating something out of nothing. we're starting with a sound and words and bringing it together and merging sonic, beautiful music with voice and words and lyrics, and we're making magic. That's what I love about it. It's like there's nothing else like it. that I've experienced. And yeah, I mean, I painted and I've done creative things, and used to work at Warner Brothers doing creative stuff, and I've even acted in little projects, and it always, for me, it always comes back to music.
Yep.
Always, it does. Okay, so the name of the children's album is called Heart Full of Peace. That's going to be coming out. Yeah, Heart Full.
Because Lord knows this world needs some serious peace.
Yes, exactly. And the little bit that we can all do can make a difference.
It's whew. Yeah, definitely don't. Yeah. But I love the fact that I can't wait to hear that album. I'm going to listen to it too, because the way things are rolling around here.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you. Right after we're done, I'm gonna send you my disco link to it, because it's already mastered and everything. It just needs to now go through the process of getting released. It's ready. It's ready to be shared with the world.
Awesome. I like that. Now, if you could collaborate with anyone in the world, who would you want to collaborate with, and why?
It's funny. I want to warn you. It changes every day.
Okay, that's fine. Wow.
But I don't know why it changes, but it does. I think it has something to do with where I'm at, and I get obsessed. So I get obsessed, and I might even get obsessed and then go back to being obsessed with the artist. There's this woman. Her name is Lassa de Sela, and she died pretty young, but her music lives on, and I'm totally obsessed with her music. I just literally bought a book called Why Lassa de Sela Matters. And I just got a vinyl. I never buy vinyls. I just got a vinyl of one of her albums called La Llorona. And I covered one of her songs called Con Toda Palabra. And it's just such a beautiful song. So I really have it in the licensing hands, that song. We'll see what happens with that song. But yeah, so I'd say her for now. Lassa de Sela.
Okay. For now.
For today, in this moment, yeah.
Today. Oh, okay. I get it. Now, which do you prefer most? Do you like intimate settings or a large audience when you perform?
Oh, intimate settings. Only because then you can talk. You can kind of talk to people as you're singing. Like, it's like you can do that, I think, in large settings as well, but it's like you can actually almost hug them and just be there, like they're with you. Yeah. And then also too, yeah, it's an intimate, the intimate exchange feels very connecting. And you can really feel the person you're singing with next to you. You literally feel like they're with you as you're singing and you're playing and you're connecting with them.
Right. Yeah. I always, yeah, when you're in the smaller settings, you can definitely connect more. I always tell the artists that music is our superpower, because the music has the ability to heal. It can give somebody hope. Music is something that people utilize when they're angry, sad, happy. It gives some kind of release. And I always try to encourage people, if you're doing music, keep doing it, because you're affecting somebody out there in the universe somehow, some way.
Absolutely. My new album that's being released August 18th it's called Take My Hand, and I think there's 2 or 3 songs. There's 3 songs that have that lyric line in it, and one of the songs is a title song called Take My Hand. But it's literally about that. It's like how I'm not just there for you, but you're there for me.
I love that.
Sure, we're here with each other. We're here for each other. Yeah. And the fact that, and there's my new song that's coming out this Friday, Wrap My Heart Around You. One of the lyric lines is, Take My Hand. Yeah.
That's right. Take my hand.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, I'm going to play your song, Imagine You. Tell me what that's about.
Okay, so Imagine You. It's interesting. That was one of you. You asked about collaborations. So I just opened myself to some new collaborators that I had no idea where they're coming from, and this person, such a nice lady, Val. She contacted me and she's like, I really like your voice. I would love it if we can make a song together. And because she was in the groups that I trust in terms of they know the drill, they know about split sheets, they know about, they know who's who. Okay. Usually they know like, oh, am I the writer? Am I the songwriter / am I the singer? So these people usually figure that out right away. And I figured it out right away with her. She already had an idea. So I took her idea and worked really hard to make it into a song, and then sent it to a producer in Sweden, and we finished it, and it came out really beautiful. I was very proud of that song because I felt I took something that felt very impossible initially to do, and I was able to pull that off. And it was one of those things that getting out of my comfort zone, where it's not not always just about my lyrics or my song or my idea. And so it was fun to do that. And I really, once again, very happy with how the song came out. And it was actually for a brief, and it was for an ad. And I knew that it, even if it wasn't necessarily a brief for like a deadline, it was more as an example of what they were looking for. And so now, but it's with an agency now, Mad and Flow agency in Los Angeles, and they have that song. So we're very happy with it, and we'll see how it holds up. But it was a good first one to release because I really like this producer in Sweden, and we're working on multiple songs together continually. And he didn't make it on the album, but I have some really great songs I love that I have that will be on a future album that I have with him. So that's why I decided to do a single release of the song first. So Imagine You.
Let me play it.
Okay.
Of light when I talk to you, it's so funny since you're not
Beautiful.
And thank you. Yeah.
Stunning. I mean, your voice, you definitely could do something licensing. That it should be a no-brainer.
Yeah, that has a lot of extra stuff that you could use in licensing for sure. But it has the sound, it has the patience, it has the edit points, it has all that, all the fun, and then it also is just really pretty. It's just like I could imagine being that person, wanting that person in the room, for real, and I could put myself in that situation and think about it, and it's a great narrative. It's a great way to connect with people too. Like, wow, if I can imagine myself, I'm married and I have a child and stuff, but I can still, it's fun to still come out of the, this thinking of like, everything's linear. You can jump around and think of yourself in different parts, of your imagination or your own desires, or you can imagine how this could come out, and it could work for anybody. And, so I think I can totally put myself in there and relate to the song.
Yeah, no, I mean, I could imagine that, that song in a movie, that particular one.
Right. And it's not so on the nose, so it's more general. And I think you're right. It could work in a lot of different scenarios.
I mean, it's fantastic. Fantastic.
Thank you.
One last question I have for you. The question is, what are 3 things you wish you had known before you got into the music business?
Oh boy. So number 1, that I could probably have started earlier, like I maybe not so worried. I didn't think of being a musician as a profession. So that's one thing I would have changed early on. I would have I might have jumped into that role. I mean, even though I loved it and I was really young, starting and playing guitar and singing, and I didn't embrace it as a viable work, or and maybe that was a good thing on some level. But I think that if I had to do it again, I would go back and I would embrace the yes, I'm doing this, and I would do I would even go further in learning about everything earlier on, and just really because once you are more stable and you're married and you have a kid and everything, it's like harder to go on tour or harder to do these things. And when you're just kind of young and traveling the world, which I did, but I would probably have put some more attention to the musical aspect of it all, when and used my energy that way and done it a little bit differently. So that's one. And then number 2, I probably would have started collaborating earlier, and I probably would have been a little more. I would like to be more brave when I was younger, just to, more confident, and that way I wouldn't have second guess my intuitive thoughts, which usually are always right, or at least they're usually right on. Right. Which is different than right. Yeah. Which just means that they end up being, oh yeah, I should, that felt right. Those thoughts were exactly where I could have gone with. So just being more confident and being, that would be number 2. And then number 3, I think that think that I would just make it as a top on my list, for everything. I would have put maybe instead of I might have put it more of as a hardcore focal point, which I know that sounds the same as starting off young, but the difference I think would be the focal point of being of the expression of the sharing, of the getting out there, of diving deeper and learning about everything. That could help get the music out, and it all kind of helps each other. Like if you do this for yourself, other musicians also get the benefit because you're sharing that information. And I think that's what those are the three I would have really just made that my focus, number 3. So those are the 3.
Beautiful. One of the main things for me is I wish I had known how many scammers there were out there in the music business, because let me tell you, they smell people that just start out. They just smell. They're just like,
well, that's true, and that's why that's like part of the learning, like going full force in the learning. There are mentors and teachers that can tell you right away there's scammers out there, and this is I don't think the music industry's ever really not with scammers though, right?
No, they've never not been good. I mean, the amount. Well, there's more to say that I wish that more people would have said, these are the things they're going to tell you. Do your due diligence when somebody tells you, though, they can make you a star, or they've worked with such and such. And because when you're green, you want that, that fame, you want this, you want that, and you practically will believe in anything that anybody tells you. I felt prey to that, but it wasn't more about fame. It was just they seemed like people that were really in the business to help, and I lost a lot of money. Now, that can't happen now because I do my due diligence and research and stuff like that. But no, it's almost like people.
That's a good one that you just brought up, and thank you for bringing that up to our audience today, because that's exactly the reason why we need to help each other, and we need to spread the word and say to these young ones, look, there are resources now for you. You don't have to do this alone. There's a lot of experienced people that can help you get your toolbox ready and get going on your own, and just depends on how much you can pull off on your own and what you need budget wise, what you can get the help with. So there's a lot of ways you can do it alone these days, like a 100%er. But there's also, ways you can find a budget way to work with other people, like collaboration. Usually if everyone is versed in the, way to do it, there's a way to collaborate, and everyone gets the splits, and that person who's starting off doesn't feel alone.
Right. No, you're right. You're absolutely right. They don't feel alone. I try to help people but no, some people just don't want to listen, but I try to help people as best as they can.
You're right. It's a good thing to bring up for sure. It's like something that we need to keep talking about, especially for our young ones.
I tell people all the time, you gotta be careful. And the other thing is that this business is tough, and this business is a lot of work. It's not like back in the day. You go into a radio station, here's my CD or album or record, let's go as far back as that, and they might play it. Now we have social media. Sometimes if you're into that, you have to see, will this song work on Facebook? Will it work on Instagram, TikTok, whatever talk that's out there? It could go viral. Is anybody listening? Because if you look at the world, a person, I always talk about this girl, but the Catch Me Out girl, she was on Dr. Phil. She was a very disrespectful kid. Sony, Warner, whoever said, we can make money out of that. She became a rap artist, made millions of dollars. She now has a OnlyFans account where she makes lots of money. And it's all because she was disrespectful. So I
Wow.
think it's very sad that some of the labels, they go after these people because it's a way for them to make money. And it's not even about the artistry anymore. It's not the art. Because my whole
Right.
thing is about getting the world to see music as art.
Right. Right.
Music is subjective. It's like when you go to an art gallery, you just look at something and say, okay, that's art. You may or may not like it, but you can appreciate that it's art. It may not be for you, but you can appreciate that it's art. Now with music, there's so people that are so critical about the songwriters out there, the artists out there, and say, oh, no, that's bad music. Why? Somebody else may like it. Why can't people see that as art? So my whole thing is trying to revolutionize the music world so that people say, oh, that's great art. It may not be for me. That's great art.
Exactly.
They're showing some type of bravery. You know what I mean?
Yes. It's so true. And everyone, and it would be boring if we all sounded the same and did the same thing.
Thank you. I was telling somebody that the other day. I was just because they were like, oh, it's because I entered a song contest, and they were like, oh, if you had done this, that, and the other, and yet I had entered the same song in another contest and won like a silver medal. And I went back to them and I said, well, no, I don't need to change anything. Not because I won the other contest, but because you're trying to take my voice away from me. And I said the exact same thing. Don't you think it would be boring if the world sounded the same?
Right. It would be, and also too, people would lose interest if everyone sounded the same. So
you're darn right. You're darn right. Music. What people don't realize is that music evolves. It just does. It evolves over time. Things cannot remain the same over and over and over and over and over and over again. Things, are constantly spinning, and when you turn on the radio station, you basically hear the same thing over and over again. It becomes redundant.
Right. And I think that's like the safe. I think people are afraid to get out, and be a little more brave and put something different out there. But then when they do, they're always surprised by the success.
Exactly.
Wow, I should have done this. I should have done this earlier.
Right.
Right. And you hear that all the time, even with licensing. Like everyone's always like, well, what's the next big thing? And then the response is like, well, maybe you are. You just don't be afraid to be brave about it. I mean, I know you're going to get the feedback that says, oh, well, this won't work for this, or maybe it should be this. And everyone has an opinion for sure, especially if you're in a listening session or something. But I think in the end, when everyone's wondering what the next big thing is, the next big thing is you. If you're brave enough to do what you're doing and put it out there, that's the next big thing.
Amen to that. You see, you get it. You completely understand the whole dynamic of things.
Well, I think you're very wise already, and you've already given me your questions are amazing. So thank you for that. You're giving us an opportunity to touch on some real deep connecting examples and thoughts.
I try.
Why we're artists, why we're musicians, why we love music, why we care to share.
Why we care to share. I like that. It's really
as my dear friend Cinder would say, hook alert.
Hook alert. That's right. That's right. Well, thank you, Rebecca. Finally, I'm so glad I got you on Chatting with Nat. I loved our conversation. I think we're simpatico in the spirituality thing and just being honest. You know what I mean? I think we both believe that all is in divine order. When things happen the way that they're supposed to, they do.
We're sisters in music, and we're women in music.
Right, there you go. We're sisters in music.
Yeah. Well, God bless you and heart bless you, and thank you so much for having me on today. Oh,
thank you. All right, everybody. That was singer-songwriter Rebecca Trujillo. You can find her on her website, osmundamusic.com. Instagram is the same. Facebook is the same. YouTube is the same. TikTok is the same. Twitter is the same. And if you can't remember that, you can use that lovely tool called Google. Yes, Google is your friend. You do it. And you can actually buy music. You can still buy music. You can stream it, but there's a half a penny there. So try to buy music. I try to buy music all the time now and try to support my friends and other people that I know that are making music. We're trying to make a living doing this. This is our happy place. So please continue to do so. And remember to stay true to who you are in this life. Don't give away your power. The power resides in you, and you know that you can do some good out there in the world. Until next time on Chatting with Nat. Thank you, Rebecca.
Thank you. Have a beautiful day.
Same to you. Thanks. Chatting with Nat is a podcast for independent women seeking to speak their truth and to break down barriers. We host honest conversations that help to guide and empower women. Speak your truth and set yourself free. Let your voice be heard.
Okay, round two. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Ah, sorry, we were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right, ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.